Bonjour YouTube, buenos dias, and good day everyone. I'm here with another video, and on this clip here I will be doing a refurbish of the emblems, but not just a refurbish. I will also change the color up a little for the style that I'm going with. But as you can see, this is a 1966 Chevy Impala that I'm working on. And these are the emblems that I've decided to put on the rear portion of the front fenders here, which is normally a common space for the emblems for this particular car. But as you can see, I'm kind of just drawing out my map here to where I actually want to put them on the fender. And I've welded the old location out. That way I don't have a hole which protrudes through the inside, which will cause problems for rust. So I'm gonna actually spot weld a little area here to where I can close that side off, and I'll give it a good sand down just to smooth it out. That way the metal is surfaced properly for my preparation for paint. But as you can see here, I have the Forney welder, and this welder seems to work great as far as for what I need it for. So after I have that puddled layer of metal here, I'll just give it a good sand down just to make sure that the leveling is symmetrical with the neighboring areas. And as you can see, I pretty much just pulled out the angle grinder because it will make much quicker work of actually working that metal down. And then I'll just give it a good sand down with a much more lighter sanding tool. That way the area is surfaced properly, and then I'll just add some body filler to sand it down so that it's smooth with the rest of the body here. But as you can see from the back here, I got a good build up. So knowing that will not cause problems later on. But as you can see, that hole for the emblem is completely closed off there, and it's good metal. And I'll pretty much just surface that off so that it's nice and smooth. Now as far as the back side, I'll keep that the way it is. It's actually much thicker than the actual neighboring parts, so that'll make a good bond for a good stronghold there for as far as the metal. So I'll sand down all the residue from the welding material, get it smooth and nice and etchy here, and then I'll add some body filler, like I said, just to smoothen out that area so that everything is leveled and much better for the preparation of paint here. So I'm just left and right circular motions with the orbital sander. And as you can see, everything is pretty much smooth to how it was before. And we'll get this filled up, and then it's just step by step as far as the preparation if you do want a good outcome here for paint, so that nothing is off or anything like that. So just a couple of passes of the body filler towards areas where I feel that are a little lower than what it should be. And then I'll pass the sander here just to sand everything down. And then like prior videos, if there are areas where I see that the sandpaper from the orbital sander is not making contact automatically, that tells me that that's a low spot. And then if I do get to areas where the metal starts to reveal itself, that tells me that that is a high spot. So with filling up low areas, there's also cases where I have to tap down areas just to bring it down, and then I'll add some body filler just to level it off. So everything is a step-by-step process depending on how you're working and how everything is coming out. That's how I decide what is the next thing to do here. But as you can see, there's surface areas on this fender panel where I have a lot of metal exposed, which is my high spots. And then there are areas where there's just body filler, which actually came out nice and smooth. Now this is my just makeshift graph here for my new areas where I will punch in new holes for the emblem, which I will be installing in this portion of the fender here. And just with a metal tool here, a metal bit that's actually dedicated for punching in holes through metal, I'll punch in some small holes with a smaller gauge, and then followed by a much bigger bite here, which will create a bigger hole to where the fender screws will actually fit through the hole and not give me a problem later on. So I'll start off by just marking my areas here just with a slight tiny pinch of a screw metal bit here, just to punch in the holes so I know where I need to be. And then I'll punch in some bigger holes when I'm ready to actually start working towards the emblems here. I did find it a little difficult to actually punch in the holes with the smaller bit here, only because I was trying to be careful to not apply so much pressure to where I warp the metal where the emblems are going, because I kind of want the surface area to still remain nice and smooth. But it's just a matter of being careful, but at the same time achieving the situation that you need be for the process. Now, as you can see, since I have the upper emblem in, I'm kind of just drawing out a graph for my new punch holes for the round impala symbol here that I will also be including with the impala sign. But just cleaning it out. And as you can see in this portion here, I finally got the holes put in. Now I'm prepping my part here because I've decided to powder coat these emblems. But before the powder coating application, I want to get this part down to shiny chrome metal, rather than to have to powder coat this with a chrome powder that I do have. The chrome on this emblem is actually fairly good. It does have a lot of debris and buildup in it because it's an old part that I purchased off of eBay that seems to have been sitting for some good time here. But with my smaller brush head here, as you can see, it's doing a great job to actually remove all of the debris and buildup that is on the emblem, and it's bringing that shine back. I tried a couple of things to see what will work, because I didn't want to get too aggressive to actually damage the chrome. But that smaller head brush there did do the job to where it did not cause scratches over the chrome, but it actually did bring the shine back. Now, when it comes to other parts that actually came off the car, this is the bumper washer here, what actually lines up the bumper brackets for the bumper. But I've decided to also refurbish these, give them a good nice cleanup. Now, because I'm doing the green here, powder coating from Eastwood, and the thing about this green, it has a translucent application, meaning where when you do apply this green, if you do apply it, need be, there's many ways you can apply this, but for my application, it's a translucent green, meaning that whatever you apply it on, the normal area will still reveal itself. So it's kind of like see-through. And I like the way that it kind of goes with the chrome. It gives the green a nice shiny look, which you will see in the outcome after the green is applied here. Now, as you can see, I have the parts down to a much better, cleaner chrome. I'll clean it all out, make sure everything is okay, symmetrical, shining the way that I would like it to be for my likings. But yes, this is it here. Nice, chrome, shiny. And when I do apply that powder, you will see that it comes out nice and well here. Now, this is my Vivor powder coating gun here. I actually got this off of a good sale. These were going for, I'd say, about 150 bucks, but Vivor had a sale on their website where they were actually 50% off. So I actually purchased 2 of them because of that. And compared to the Eastwood gun here, we'll put it to the test just to see how it does the job. I do have other videos on the Eastwood gun, and this is just something new that I'm trying. Because of the body and how the gun presented itself, it seemed to be a bit more towards the professional standard, which the ones that I do see that are up there in price. So I kind of wanted to give it a try just to see how it looked. Now this is my setup here. Now I'm applying all of my hooks, and before I spray powder, you always want to make sure that all of your connections are clean, because there is a grounding system which will apply I'd say a negative charge to where it allows that powder to stick to the part so that it doesn't slip off or anything. And this gun seems to do a great job, but just make sure that all of your connections are nicely clean so that you have good contact here. And this is the heat lamps that I have. Each one here produces 2,000 watts, but because this is a smaller part that I'm applying the powder to here, I don't need to actually have all of them on, so I ended up only running 2 of them. Now this is the powder that I purchased through Eastwood here. It's called the I think it's the apple green, and I've been using this application a lot for some of the parts that I'm doing for the car here. And as you will see towards the end of the video, there is other parts that I did not record the process here on this video on how I've achieved the outcome of the parts that I'm powder coating, but I believe I do have prior videos. Now as you can see, this gun here does produce good amount of powder. I did have to play with it a little. It does have a spray hook inside the bottle which agitates the powder to where it kind of gets it to move, but I did have a couple of clumps, and that's only because this powder, I may have had it sitting for over 6 months, so it did build up some clumps. So I kind of had to shake it up to get to agitate the powder just to get it to move out of the gun. And also with some adjustments of the air pressure. I had it real low to which where that did not help neither. But you want to make sure that you have a good balance with everything, because if you apply too much air, then it agitates the powder that is already on the part to where it blows it off. That negative charge is enough to hold the powder onto the part. But if you're applying too much air, it actually will blow that powder back off to where you would have to reapply it. Now after 10 minutes of letting this sit through the heat lamps that I have here, as you can see, that powder is slowly melting. Now I don't have a number, I don't have a time. I like to watch the part to see how it's formulating as far as how the powder is melting through the part. And when I see that it's completely formed to where that sour green actually shows itself nice through the chrome, I stop, because you don't want to overtime your heat, because it gets to a point where it heats the powder for too long and it hardens and it starts to crack. So it has to be a good level of heat to where the part is melted, to where the powder is melted onto the metal, but not overheated, because that powder starts to harden too much to where it's glassy like. And when you agitate it or you bump it against certain things, it's much easier for it to kind of cause cracks, and it just breaks up. Just through my experience, this is something that I've seen happen. Now on the table here, as you can see, YouTube, these are all the other parts that I've taken through the same process. Nothing different. I made sure that I completely cleaned the part to the proper shiny, metal that I did want, and then I've applied my powder, and then I hung it. I took it through the same heating process. Now, bigger parts did take a little bit more time, and especially these frame brackets here for the bumper. I actually had to do a preheat to get it to a certain number. Now, because my heat lamps are limited, there's only so much to where they can do. But as far as for the job here, I find that it actually does okay for what I need it for. Now, this is the part actually installed onto the vehicle, and as you can see, the outcome of the powder here is actually coming out good. And this is that washer for the bumper here, which I explained during the video. So this is it, YouTube, my work that I'm doing. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And in the next video here, you will see the process of the fenders that I painted.